Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm going to be showing you how all of the LEGO Hogwarts sets from 2021 and so far in 2022 connect, including the brand new LEGO Hospital Wing and the Hogwarts Gryffindor Dorms Gift with Purchase set that came out in October 2020. I wasn't going to make a video on this, it got like super late. I just built the Hospital Wing today, but I didn't do one for the dorms either, and I know that my Hogwarts videos are really popular and a lot of people were asking me for this, so let's just jump right into it. So at the back, we've got my Hogwarts setup that I made in my last video, which I think was like in summer or fall of 2021 now. I'm going to leave the Great Hall exactly the way that it is. I don't really want to build on top of it. I like the way that section looks, but with so many new pieces, I think that I can kind of start to expand sideways a little bit instead of just up. Now, these three pieces floating around in the center, I've got two roof sections and then that weird little like 8x10 section that doesn't really connect to anything. I don't think I'm going to end up using those this time, but let's just wait and see. All right, so here's my first combination. I have to say, I love the way the Hospital Wing looks once it's up high. It's really cool. It's so nice that LEGO kind of expanded out that top portion of the 2019 clock tower. I think it's a very imposing presence. The only thing is that I feel like it looks really heavy right now. Like maybe it's just too tall or maybe it's too wide. I feel like it's so large once it's on top of other modules that it kind of feels overwhelming a little bit. So I do want to play around with this a little bit more. I put the dorms right there on the bottom. I'd really rather not have them there because I don't think that, you know, like Gryffindor's dorming on like the dungeon level doesn't make any sense. But that set's just so ugly from the outside. I'm sorry, I know I didn't do a separate review on it, so let me know in the comments if you want one and I'll do one like over the summer. But like the brown graded windows do not fit with any other window style in any of these sets. You do have, you know, like that one piece mold for the castle window, but then everything's ruined by like those big black stripes. And so I really feel like the back of the dorm set is like the ugliest exterior to any of these sets. And I thought that the bathrooms were pretty bad originally, so I'm really not happy with that. I mean, they have great interiors, but LEGO really needs to do better with the exteriors on those two because I feel like they just drag the entire display down. Another thing I don't like about this display is that I can't use this little roof module that I have Harry on, and I really like the setup. Like, I could put it where Madame Pomfrey is, but I'd rather have two people flying, so that's something I also need to look into. I tried integrating the door, but it was just kind of weird. Like, it creates too much of a gap in, like, the Hogwarts system. So I am looking forward to see what comes out over the summer, because I'd love some more just, like, 8x8 modules. Here's a quick look at the interior of this layout. I think this is really cool. I love the interior on this. Makes me want to play with it. But again, it's so weird to have the Hospital Wing be such like a major part of this system. I think it's a great standalone set, but it's not integrating as neatly as I expected. Like, it's really strange to me to have the Hospital Wing be like the same width as, say, the Great Hall. I think the Great Hall is still a little bit wider, but yeah, that's just kind of odd. And then I also wish that there was just like some room like up in the roof. Like I wish that those were full 8x8 roof modules with like a little bit of like interior space. I don't know. It feels like something's missing when you're trying to integrate it in with the rest of the sets, at least to me. And the other thing is that everyone was like, oh, it can give you like, it can change it up, because a big complaint about this Hogwarts system is that it's so flat, but you can't get the nice angling of that set once you actually connect it to other modules, which does kind of suck, but at least the clock tower part does stick out more. So I'm trying to keep certain parts of the interior intact, like I'm trying to keep Fluffy above the Devil's Snare, and this situation is why I think that we need more 8x8 modules, because again, I don't like the height on the clock tower here. I think it's just too tall. I feel like it's competing too much with like what I want to be the main spire next to the Great Hall. But this is like an interesting setup because I put like the archway from the Fluffy set below the clock tower window. I don't know how I feel about that because I love that module. That's like one of my favorite modules in this Hogwarts system just because it's different. It has nice architecture, like, and it has depth to it. That's the other thing. It's not just flat. I think it's because it has depth to it that I like it so much. But I like it a lot with like this style of roof on it. So it's kind of strange to me to put it in the middle. And so this is what I'm struggling with because I liked what I was getting without the Hospital Wing on top. I liked having this like tower onto the side, and then I could like do a roof over the fluffy section. And then if I had another 8x8 module, I could just connect it to the dorms down at the base and then slap the hospital wing on top of that. And like, this is why I'm struggling. I feel like Lego needs another 8x8 module. I feel like that door should have been an 8x8 module instead of an 8x10 for no reason. And I'm pretty sure I said this in my last Hogwarts video too, that it would just open up so many more like expansion possibilities. And so I kind of feel like this is a huge flaw in their thinking with like connecting these Hogwarts sets, especially if you're like me and you want to keep like the functions that work together above the right rooms. Here's another option, just leaving the hospital wing on the ground. Again, I don't like that. I feel like it's made to be up in the air, but what I do like is kind of like the middle section. I like having like the crenellated walls in the middle. Again, it creates a nice rise and fall to the tower structure. But as you can see, I'm not using the Gryffindor dorms right now, so I'm going to try to just insert them really quickly, and then I think it might be time to break up the hospital wing. All right, so this one's a little bit weirder because then this section is super tall, and again, not really messing with the hospital wing right now. But the dorms, again, look terrible. They look terrible. I hate those black bars so much. I'm gonna see if those pieces are available in like a tan or a brown or something, because that just, it seriously throws off the entire look. And I mean, I don't even have the chocolate frog card in there because I actually like lost my Ziploc baggie full of these. But if I had that, you'd be seeing like the back of studs through those windows, which would be even worse. And the other thing is like, it's so flat. It's so sad and flat, and it really, really bothers me. Like, I know that the bathroom set at least has like a window coming out of it, but I mean, it's just still so flat. And I mean, like, yeah, the fluffy set and the dorms are the worst offenders by far. So I don't know, maybe I need to go in and modify them because it's just like inexcusable in my opinion. I did not end up breaking up the hospital wing for this configuration, but this is like much more my speed. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I still don't like the way the dorms look. But I do like that I've kind of sandwiched it between the sections from the like Quidditch match set or Quidditch practice set, because those do have depth. So I feel like that helps to offset a bit of that flatness. And then I think that this feels a little bit short to me, but then having it be like 4 modules high in total just made it feel a little bit high, like the clock tower bit. So I think I like this. Again, it's just kind of strange going from like delicate arches with like the daintier white lattice windows versus the dark lattice windows to then something so like flat and black and brown like right down below. So I'm going to see how this works, but I like the rise and fall of those turrets and everything. I got to have my little Harry on his broom section. So I think I'm going to give this another shot, because the other thing that I discovered with this configuration is that if I put an 8x8 module underneath like the different sides of the hospital wing, it actually can still angle in and out. I just don't have a ton of 8x8 modules to work with, so let me see what I can do, but I think I'm only going to try out like another 1 or 2 combinations. I think that this is almost a winning combination. There are things that I really, really like about this one. First of all, I really like the crenellated rooftops on top of the fluffy section. I think that that looks great. I do like the tower there, but again, I wish it was 1 module higher. And then you can see what I did with the hospital wing is I angled it by putting 8x8 modules underneath like the side wings there. And then I left the bottom part open. Now, I do really like that look, because after doing it, I remember that there is like a little courtyard underneath the clock, like that they walk out of Ticket to Hogsmeade, right? If my memory from Prisoner of Azkaban serves me correctly. So I would love an 8x8 module that just has like kind of like 4 little wall sections so that you can put something on top of it, but nothing actually in it, and like an open front so that you can like let people kind of exit the castle. Because I guess that is something I'm missing from this set compared to the 2018 to 2020 Hogwarts system, is that there were like ways out of the buildings, and you don't have any of that with these. The closest you have is that balcony from that fluffy set. So I really like this look with the gap underneath the middle. I think that, you know, it really just makes this look better. And again, I haven't like taken apart that section yet, but I mean, I don't really know if I want to build on top of it. I feel like it's going to end up looking a little bit odd. Here's a quick peek at just the interior for these 2 sections. Again, I'm really, really liking this. I really like the way all of this flows. Like if that was one module higher, and I had like some kind of exit there instead of just a big square gap, I think like this would literally be my dream like display scenario, but let's see what else I can come up with. All right, so I finally built on top of the hospital wing, and honestly, I like it a little bit more than I expected. I think that that turret roof piece really works well with the white lattice windows. I did put the clock part on top of the balcony, and that looks a little bit excessive to me. It's quite tall. Sadly, you can't build on top of the clock just because of the way the roof is made. Because it's all geared up inside, there's a function, so you can't really build on top of it. But this is the closest I've come to using all of the modules. The only one that I didn't use besides the weird shaped one is this roof piece. So that's really cool. Again, I like the crenellations on top of the fluffy section. I think I'm just going to try my hand at one more and then give up. But I feel like I've gotten some pretty good combinations out of this. And here's a quick interior glance for these two sections. I feel like this is a little bit awkward because while I like having the hospital wing lower, it's super weird that Hermione's napping on a bed like right next to Fluffy. All right, I think that this is going to be my last one for now. I am kind of struggling with building on top of it. So this is kind of like a staircase almost of like spires. So I do kind of like this look, but I prefer it when the clock tower part is in the middle of the hospital wing. I put that fluffy roof piece on top of the other side, but I don't know. It seems weird to me when that clock is off center. I don't really like that very much. I did not use the roof pieces from the actual hospital wing set. So yeah, I still think that my favorite was when I had a gap underneath the middle section. So maybe I'll see if I can like build my own module and try to recreate that a little bit. The interior here actually has some pretty good stuff. I do like the fluffy roof over the hospital wing. It's a little bit awkward with like pieces sticking into the middle, but like the floating candles and like the lack of like actual like roof part directly over the open space, it really just makes it feel larger and more airy, which I think is really important for the hospital wing. All right, well, I'm back to this arrangement. I do really like it. Again, I think that this is the best look for the clock tower. It is the most accurate to the actual Hogwarts, and like these sets aren't very accurate. You know, they're more trying to give you the vibe of Hogwarts rather than give you a screen accurate one. But yeah, I think that like this layout feels good to me. Again, the one big problem is, well, I mean, the two big problems. I don't have that section with Harry, which makes me sad. And I need another 8x8 module to raise that tower up a little bit. It feels so trapped down there on the same level as the hospital wing and Fluffy. So I'm really looking forward to see what LEGO comes out with in the summer. With the addition of the hospital wing, I am liking this whole like layout quite a bit more. So I can't wait to see what they come up with. But before I end the video, let me just show you the interior on this arrangement. And this interior setup is pretty nice. Again, don't like that the dorms are on the ground floor, but there's not really any way around that because they don't look great from the outside. So I'm sure this video is way longer than I meant it to be. I did a lot more combinations than I thought, but I didn't think it was going to be so hard to integrate the hospital wing. So let me know what you guys think about what I came up with. Do you agree? Do you like the gap underneath the middle? And do you think that LEGO needs more 8x8 modules? Because I know like if I broke down some of this, it might be a little bit easier. But I don't think I should have to sacrifice the functionality of stuff like the slide into the Chamber of Secrets and like Fluffy's trapdoor. I don't think I should have to sacrifice that just to like get like another module. And Lockhart's office, that is the only other 8x8 that I could use. But again, it's so windowed. That's not going to be on a ground floor. That's a tower module. So I want LEGO to come out with just like a $10 8x8 module set. I think that would be perfect, or even like a $20 one with two. So leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com. I will see you guys with more videos soon and more Hogwarts updates this summer. Bye for now.